dead. I know, I'm pretty sure... No, Tarkin is dead, because the Empire's dead. That's why they're bringing back fucking Thrawn. Yeah, no, they're all dead. They're done. Tarkin's finished. Yeah, no, this is after. This is well after the original trilogy. Thing is, you can't keep going back to the classics to kind of, like, replace or make things today. You know, it's good that they do try to make new content, but the new content they make kind of just blows cock. Because I don't really know how you could keep rehashing Luke Skywalker and be like, yeah, Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, every single time, you know? Because people love the originals. People love the originals more than anything. And, in my mind, it would be boring to keep seeing the same characters over and over again.
Serve or die. Don't care if the others like you.
But I'm not saying I like the sequel trilogy, or I like the Book of Boba Fett, or I like, you know, the Obi-Wan series. I'm just saying it would get kind of tedious to just keep having the original characters back for more, you know? And then using, you know, comics and other forms of media like novels and shit to kind of even show more of that stuff. Like, it's good. They still do it. Luke's in some comics, Han and Chewie, and everyone's in a bunch of books and comics. You know, stuff you don't see in the movies. Unit, thank you, man. Well, you know why? Because the extended universe would kind of complicate... I can understand why the EU was cut, because it would complicate things for future projects. I can understand why they would do it, but I'm not for it. You know? Like, if they wanted to reference anything, they'd have to go back to the expanded universe and then find, you know, that one story or that one thing, and they're all done by different authors, and, you know, it's like... It's, I guess, too much going on, I suppose. All the comics are retconned. Not all of them. They still make Star Wars comics to this day. They still write stories for characters who were, you know, not written for before. Yeah, I've seen the movie. Already not. Well, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like they want to rehash ideas that have already been made in novels and books and whatnot, and, you know, they take inspiration from somewhere, but instead of it being inspiration, it's like a one-to-one rip type of deal. Because at the time of the expanded universe as well, you weren't really getting much in the way of Star Wars, right? If anything, it was just a bunch of games, I would assume, you know? Now they've got, like, multi-million-dollar shows coming out based on Star Wars, and no one would think for a second to consult the EU, right? I didn't even realize Samira's not even here. I literally didn't even pay attention at all. I guess it's just too many clashing ideas. When you spend so long making something, and, you know, Disney kind of comes along, buys up the rights to everything, and since it's not their own and there's too many things tied onto it, you know, all the royalties that would go out for stories and all this shit, whatever it may be, it would just be too complicated to go off of EU. Like, I can understand them not wanting to do it, but, like, if you don't want to do it, at least make your stories better than the EU, which you're just not doing. A lot of Disney is just watered-down garbage for the masses. It's not taking itself seriously. It's too kid-oriented. Directing, like, the voice work, everything about it just seems so shit. The only good stuff about a lot of these new Disney shows that Star Wars is kind of with is, like, the look of the universe. The aesthetic, the cosmetics of the fucking show typically don't look bad at all. But everything else, unfortunately, kind of lacks. I don't know if... Well, that would even be more complicated. Why would you choose to canonize some stuff but not the rest of it? I feel like you're just... You're just making it more of a headache, to be honest. I'm for making all of it not canon, but, like, at the same time, I can see why people don't like that. That's just thinking too much about things. Holy fuck. The misery. That's the second time he's lived with 1 HP. Holy shit, man.
You've work to do. Get on it.
Man.
We're good? We'll see what they do. What's the next Star Wars venture Disney's putting out? Because I feel like Ahsoka and Andor are probably my favorites. Conceptually, the Book of Boba Fett. But the Book of Boba Fett was so shit. That's probably the worst of them all, but has the coolest concept of all of them. Andor? Hope it's Andor. Andor is really good. Andor, the funny thing about Andor being a success and everything else like being kind of shit is Andor is just so about nobody. It's literally about like dirt, specks of dirt versus, you know, diamonds when it comes to Boba Fett and Obi-Wan and all this other shit. Like, you're explaining dirt lore and sure, you know, it's the downfall of the Empire and whatever, he gets the whole fucking Death Star plans. I get it. But, like, Cassian Andor is not Obi-Wan. Not even, like, same galaxy level of popular. And it's cool to see that something like that is more popular. Well, sorry, is... I guess it's the directors, to be honest, in terms of how that went down. But the show was better than Obi-Wan. The show was better than Boba Fett. The show was better than every single thing Disney put out for Star Wars. And it's explaining pieces of dirt. And that's so good. That's great. That's director diff. That's all I can say, man. Who's ever directing these new ones are just lost. Yeah. But that's crazy, though, because the director directing something that has little, like... little worth compared to other things. What if he directed, like, Obi-Wan? What if he directed Boba Fett? What if you have someone like that who can turn dirt into diamonds, already with diamonds? Right? What does he do with the diamonds? Does he make them into dirt? Well, that's what they did with Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. Yeah, who knows? Oh my god, bro. I don't care if I die. Bitch. Oh! Run away. Well, the Anakin stuff was good in Obi-Wan, and that was about it. Everything else was shit. How can you take... I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say about Star Wars when it comes to... But the originals, oh my god, merchandising was in mind, kids were in mind. That's not Star Wars, though, entirely. You can make mature shows that make sense and that aren't focused on selling fucking kids' toys, right? If you have a show about Obi-Wan, it doesn't have to be 100% dulled down because kids are involved. Like, you throw fucking Child Leia into the mix, and it's just the worst thing ever. That alone killed the entire show. Everything was so dogshit stupid, made no sense. Just for kids. It's just for kids. How do you have a universe with all this crime and hate and fucking, like, planets being destroyed and then be like, oh yeah, it's for kids, don't worry. It's just weird, man. Like, a lot of really drawn-out, dumb scenes. Nothing makes sense. The directing was just so poor. Oh! They're all alive. I mean, I would say the biggest travesty of all of this was the Book of Boba Fett. I think they took the Book of Boba Fett, a character who is so, like, well-versed in criminal and underworld activity, and they made him kind of like some weirdo old man pacifist, do everything kind of right, you know, all the wrong stuff, forget that nonsense, we're good now. And then also hire a bunch of, like, fucking bozo teenagers to kind of be their like his guards and shit, his enforcers. Like, it was just so dumb. Some stuff, there was inkling of, like, Boba Fett being a badass when he got in the Slave One and gunned down the Nikto bikers. I'm like, okay, that's pretty damn cool, that's badass, that's looks a lot like Boba Fett to me. But a lot of weird decisions about that, like his whole empire, his criminal empire, is a bunch of modified fucking kids who ride ugly-ass fucking, like, scooters. Just dumb. Dumb, aesthetically ugly, not imposing in the slightest. Him riding the Rancor was cool. But, like, outside of that, man, that show's like a 0 out of 10. Maybe like a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. Oh, the armor is fine. I got nothing against the armor. There's nothing wrong with the armor. It has nothing to do with the aesthetic. It's more of everything surrounding Boba Fett, and I guess Boba Fett, who he has become, just sucks. And I think a lot of people would agree. It's not even like a subjective thing. It's just most people agree. Well, Cad Bane was there to kind of show that, like, he's moved on from the past, or he's trying to at least, right? You know, because Cad Bane was always there, and he was a mentor to Boba, and where Cad Bane was kind of stuck in his old ways of being the same criminal piece of shit, Boba's kind of moved on. You know, I can understand why Cad Bane would show up, but they threw away Cad Bane like a chump. Like, why show a cool character like Cad Bane, and then do him dirty like that, just for him to come back? Because you know Cad Bane is coming back. You don't kill off Cad Bane in live action looking that good, being that badass, to fucking fat, boring Boba Fett. Although, to be fair, if anyone was going to kill Cad Bane, it needs to be Boba. But he's not dead. Like, they did Cad Bane dirty, period. It's just... who knows? Oh, he's not dead. He had his, So the thing about Cad Bane, at least in deep lore, is the Duros species has a defense mechanism where if their chest gets punctured, it fills up with a liquid. And, it's supposed to stop internal organs from being, you know, damaged and whatnot. I believe they might still go with that, right? But... his like heartbeat sensor, whatever that sensor was on his left side of his chest, was going off when he supposedly died. Yeah. Nobody wants Cad Bane to die. Cad Bane is infinitely cooler than Boba Fett. Like, just is, man. Just is. Because Cad Bane's a true piece of shit. He is an absolute scumbag, fucking cockroach bounty hunter who'll do anything for money. Boba Fett, not so much, sure. He's got a few morals and whatnot, but, like, Cad Bane is just... he's too iconic. He definitely takes things a step further than most bounty hunters. The fuck am I supposed to be buying?
You dare slack on my ship?
Cad Bane is a true scoundrel who doesn't give a damn, doesn't even care about his robot pal.
Exactly. Toto. He's a piece of shit. But that's what's so charming about him, is because he has no... morals, you know. It's like this guy's just straight up in it for the money. Like, you cannot relate to Cad Bane, but like that's what makes him cool. Yeah, like, they probably were like, man, we need to really humanize Boba Fett in this show. We got to make sure everyone knows he's like the nicest guy around, and we can relate to Boba Fett. And okay, that flash was dog shit. Oh well. You know, once everyone sees Boba Fett such a great guy who wouldn't murder anyone for money, like, oh, he's gonna sell tenfold. Everyone loves Boba Fett. Well, I don't know, man. Disney doesn't do a good job, though, that's for sure. When they step in, it's just shite. Poo-poo shite. Poo-poo shite.
You dare slack on my ship?
Sir Tobias, hope you're doing good. Just wanted to say the Horus Heresy was a super good read.
It's too many books, and it's not really my thing. Thank you, though, man. Too much going on with that timeline. Well, yeah, that shit was weird, but... I mean, some stuff, like, why would George Lucas even write in that Luke and Leia kiss knowing they're siblings? Right? Like, a lot of weird shit was in Star Wars. Stuff that needs to be, like, explained away immediately. I don't give a fuck if they knew... well, sorry, didn't know. But, like, some shit is just weird, man.
Get to work!
Awesome seeing the Naut games.
Nah, this shit is over, bro.
Ready in the near future, perhaps?
Nah. Dude, I saw something so stupid last night on Twitter that was Hillbilly Gragas related. I can't show it because they say bad words in it. But let me just tell you, it is like AI-generated Hillbilly Gragas over a real video. And it's so strange because it sounds like Hillbilly Gragas. Like, very specific things that the guy is saying that, like, the AI is replicating as Gragas. Holy shit, you'd think it's like a real quote. That's creepy, man. That is real weird. Or as Gragas, I should say. Hillbilly Gragas doesn't have any quotes. Oh my god, when Dead was so dead. Why did I even get jungle? I'm not even queued as jungle. How the hell do I not get support, queued primary support, but I get jungle? That is weird. I didn't even look at the Essence Emporium.